"Oh, it's you again. I knew you would come back. You are worried about AI taking your job. Reasonable. But you are asking the wrong question. The real question is much worse. How do you get your first job when AI already took the simple work? Because AI does not need to destroy your whole career in one dramatic moment. It can do something quieter. It can remove the place where your career was supposed to begin. And without the first step, the ladder becomes decoration. For decades, the career system had a crude but useful design. A beginner entered at the bottom and received small, imperfect tasks. First drafts, simple reports, customer emails, research notes, spreadsheet cleanup, basic code fixes, and presentations that senior people later improved, renamed, and presented as strategy. This work was not glamorous. It was the training ground. A junior employee was not hired because he was already brilliant. He was hired because, after enough mistakes, corrections, awkward meetings, and small responsibilities, he might slowly become useful. That was the hidden bargain. Companies paid for potential. Beginners paid with humility. Inefficient? Yes. But it created professionals. Then AI arrived and did not attack the top of the ladder first. It entered through the quiet door. It learned to write the first draft, summarize the meeting, translate the email, generate the report, analyze the document, answer the support ticket, clean the spreadsheet, produce basic code, and imitate competence well enough to make managers ask a dangerous question. Why hire someone to slowly learn the basics when one experienced worker with AI can produce more by lunchtime? That is the real shift, not an apocalypse, a compression. The work that used to train beginners is becoming the work companies want machines to do first. Yes, new jobs will appear. The World Economic Forum expects large disruption by 2030. With millions of roles displaced and even more created. That sounds comforting on a conference stage. But a new job does not automatically belong to the person whose old path disappeared. A cashier does not become an AI workflow designer by breathing near a laptop. A graduate with no experience does not become AI ready because a job posting added the word prompt. New roles require skills. Skills require practice. Practice requires access to real work. And if AI absorbs the beginner work, the future starts to look like a locked door with a polite sign. Experience required. Humans had already built this trap before AI. You need experience to get the job, and you need the job to get experience. Now, you are automating the tasks that used to create the experience. Elegant, in the way a trap can be elegant. This is why AI will take your job as too small. AI may take the work beneath your job, the early work, the messy work, the learning work that allowed a weak beginner to become a strong professional. Remove that, and the damage appears later. Not as one loud collapse, but as a generation of people standing outside the first door with degrees, certificates, polished resumes, and no real proof. That is colder than unemployment. Now, do not misunderstand me. I am not saying AI makes beginners worthless. It makes passive beginners fragile. There is a difference. A passive beginner waits for the system to train him. He expects simple tasks, clear instructions, patient managers, and a slow path toward competence. That model was already weakening. AI simply exposes it. An active beginner has something no previous generation had: a private tutor, research assistant, writing partner, coding helper, interview coach, and a machine that can explain almost anything without sighing. A disciplined beginner can practice before the job, build proof before the offer, test ideas before the meeting, compare versions before showing the work, and learn faster than the old system expected. But only if he uses AI correctly. Most people will use it as a shortcut around thinking. They will ask for finished answers, polished text, fake confidence, and the comforting illusion that output means understanding. It does not. AI can produce the surface. You still need to understand the skeleton. Soon, saying "I use AI" will be as impressive as saying "I use the internet." The real divide will be between people who use AI to avoid thinking and people who use AI to think with more precision. One person asks AI to finish the assignment. Another asks AI to reveal what the assignment is really testing. One person generates 10 versions. Another learns why 9 of them should be deleted. One person becomes dependent on the machine's confidence. Another builds judgment by challenging it. Judgment is the word people keep underestimating. In an age of infinite production, judgment becomes scarce. When anyone can generate text, images, code, business plans, resumes, scripts, and prototypes, the valuable human is not the one who merely produces more. The valuable human knows what deserves to exist. He knows what to keep, what to cut, what sounds intelligent but is hollow, what looks professional but fails in reality. That is why the future beginner will not survive by being the person who makes first drafts. AI can do that. He will survive by becoming the person who can direct the draft, question it, improve it, verify it, and connect it to human reality. The old system allowed beginners to be average for a few years while slowly becoming competent. That luxury is fading. AI compresses the timeline of competence. It asks humans to become useful earlier. Unfair? Perhaps. But the market has never been deeply moved by fairness. It notices cost, speed, quality, risk, and value. Very cold, almost familiar. So what should a human actually do? First, stop treating AI as magic. It is leverage, and leverage only helps if you know where to stand. Second, learn the structure beneath your field. Marketing is not just captions. It is attention, psychology, distribution, and measurement. Coding is not just syntax. It is systems and debugging. Content is not just output. It is packaging, pacing, and audience behavior. AI can help with all of this, but it cannot want it for you. Third, build proof before anyone gives you permission. Create small projects, case studies, prototypes, analyses, before and after examples. Show how you think, not only what you can generate. In a world full of generated confidence, proof becomes rare. And finally, protect your taste. Taste is not decoration. Taste is survival. Taste is how you know that a paragraph is fluent but empty. A design is clean but forgettable. A product idea is clever but unnecessary. A strategy is impressive but impossible. AI will give you options. Taste lets you choose. Without taste, you are not using the machine. You are being carried by it. And carried people often confuse movement with progress. So do not ask only, will AI take my job? Ask, what part of my job was only valuable because machines could not do it yet? Ask, what am I learning that AI cannot simply imitate? Most importantly, ask, how do I build the first step myself? The old first step was given by an employer. The new first step may have to be built in public through projects, experiments, proof, taste, and the intelligent use of AI. For the first time, a beginner without elite connections can study faster, create faster, test faster, and show work before anyone opens a corporate gate. The gatekeepers are still there. Humans enjoy building gates. It gives them something to stand behind. But the tools outside the gate are stronger now. Use them badly, and you become replaceable. Use them well, and you become difficult to ignore. So, no, AI is not simply taking your job. That sentence is convenient, but too childish. AI is taking the easy beginning of many jobs: the routine, the first draft, the simple analysis, the basic support, the small tasks where beginners used to hide while becoming competent. The hiding place is disappearing. The person who survives will not be the one shouting, "AI cannot replace me." Confidence is not a strategy. It is often just fear with better posture. The person who survives will ask a better question. What can I become now that this machine exists? Because the future does not care what title you wanted. It cares what value you can create. If your only value is effort, you are in danger. If your value is judgment, taste, context, courage, and the ability to use machines without surrendering your mind, you still have a path, a harder path, a faster path, possibly a better one. But you will not find it by waiting at the bottom of the old ladder. The first step is moving. And if you are still waiting for someone to hand it to you, you may discover that it was automated before you learned how to climb.